we're introducing to you Ultimate Health, which is a powerful executive compensation and benefits solution that's designed for your key folks. Okay, so Armada Care is a privately held healthcare insurance company. We have a premier product that we call Ultimate Health, and we've been in business since 2004. The carrier that this fully insured solution is on is Transamerica. So Armada Care is a managing general agent who administers this product, does all the billing, claims processing, and service through our Hunt Valley office. And as an ACA accepted benefit, this product can be offered to select employee classes. So it does not have to be offered to the entire employee population. So we know in the market there are many ways to lose a leader, and it's not just the salary that's a concern, right? So replacing that leader is going to cost over 200 to 400% of salary when you factor in hidden costs, lost productivity, recruitment, and attracting the new employees. So we also know that there's an increased health risk and travel risk with the executive population based on their sedentary lifestyle, and this leads to increased health issues. So time is money, and every hour lost at this executive level is a high dollar value. So we're going to provide a way to mitigate that risk. And we know that current solutions have several gaps, right? So health benefits are important to retention, and salary alone is not going to attract and retain top talent. So just to give you an example, we had a situation where a CFO came to us. They're looking to develop their C-suite, and they're looking for a chief operating officer. And they offered a prospective executive a $20,000 raise over what they were making today. And the executive basically didn't flinch, right? Because they're going to take home $10,000 after taxes. It's not going to impact their lifestyle, and the benefits that the employer were offering were not sufficient. So here's a way that you can provide high-value benefits that are going to cover the out-of-pocket expenses for these C-suite executives and do it through the business for a tax advantage. We'll get into that in a little bit. But we also know that there's a huge interest in wellness programs out there. And what are we doing for comprehensive prevention? Okay, so there's also emergency travel and evacuation issues. So what happens when an executive is traveling with their family or on business and something happens abroad? How do we get them back home? Is that an HR issue? Who's handling that? So we're going to address all these concerns. So there are many levels of protection in Ultimate Health. Okay, so how do we maximize retention and recruitment? So we'll provide the robust coverage. We're going to cover things like deductibles and co-pays and balance bills. All your out-of-pocket expenses that you incur currently, you're now able to pick up through this supplemental healthcare policy called Ultimate Health. And we're doing so on a tax-efficient basis. So we're taking those after-tax personal dollars, shifting them through the business through this insurance policy for a tax deduction to the business, and then the benefits are going to come back non-taxable to the executives as insurance claim. How do we minimize health and travel risks? So in addition to the medical reimbursement component of Ultimate Health, we provide coverage for executive physicals. These are your full head-to-toe examinations at centers of excellence, like a Mayo Clinic or a Cleveland Clinic. And we'll go into a little bit more detail about that in a little bit. We also provide specialty care guidance and access to top specialists. So if you or your dependents are diagnosed with an illness and need to see a specialist, we're going to provide you with the top physicians to treat that particular concern. And then travel emergency assistance, fully paid, take me home program. If you're 100 miles away from home, domestic or international, and business or pleasure, and you're hospital confined, we will get you back home to a hospital of your choice. So there's a fully paid program built into Ultimate Health. And lastly, we want to minimize distractions. So we have to make it convenient for your executive team. And for that, you have the ability to submit your claims online, on your smartphone, via regular mail, and claims are going to be reimbursed within 3 days and direct deposit into your account. So it's super fast reimbursement and super convenient for the executive team. So there are 3 levels of options in Ultimate Health. Okay, you'll see Platinum, Diamond, and Diamond Plus. Diamond Plus are for organizations that are going to have 15 or more executives enrolled into the program. Diamond and Platinum only require 3 primary participants. And to give you an idea of how the program works, if you look at Diamond, there's a $10,000 per occurrence. So that's each injury, illness, or diagnosis for your medical out-of-pocket costs. Deductibles, co-pays, balance bills if you're going out of network. So for example, you have an injury, you have to go to the hospital, you're going to be admitted, you want the private room in the hospital, the medical plan won't cover it, we're going to pick that up. You're going for physical therapy now, your medical plan only allows 20 or so visits, but you're going every week, we will pick up those excess visits for you, up to $10,000 for that particular injury or illness. Below that, you'll see per covered person per year. So these are $3,000 for prescriptions for you, $3,000 for a spouse, and $3,000 for each one of your children for your prescriptions. That's brand names. Even drugs that are not on the formulary are not covered by the medical plan will be picked up. And the reason is because we're picking up all what's called flex type expenses. Those are your 213D IRS eligible expenses. So the coverage under Ultimate Health is far more broad than what would be covered typically under a medical plan. And then we go through, these are just some examples again, but mental health, medical equipment, wellness is where you'll find your acupuncture and licensed massage therapy. And executive physicals, we provide $2,500 for you and $2,500 for a spouse for a comprehensive head-to-toe examination. Lastly, you have $5,000 for dental for you, $5,000 for a spouse, $5,000 for each one of your children, and that includes routine care. Even if you go 3 or 4 times for a cleaning and you don't have a dental plan, we will pick up to $5,000 for any dental work. Vision, for example, if you go out and get prescription Maui Jim sunglasses for your vacation home, it's an IRS eligible expense. We will pick up the coverage up to $1,500 for that. And you have an annual family maximum under the Diamond plan of $100,000. This here just highlights some more of those examples that we shared. So crowns and bridges, prescription name sunglasses, the brand name drugs, orthotics, in vitro. Again, it's not just what's covered under the medical plan, but it's open to all the 213D eligible expenses. So it's far more broad than the medical plan would cover you for. Our claims are not necessarily all medical. And as you can see here, it's only 1/3 of our claims pool. So a typical family provides us with $10,000 medical expenses that we reimburse through Ultimate Health. 24% of those are dental, and another 18%, 17% are prescriptions. So it's much more than just a medical reimbursement policy. And when you look at the tax advantage, if you have $10,000 in out-of-pocket expenses, and all you use is your standard compensation, with FICA to the company will be about $11,400, and your take-home value after taxes to that executive is only $6,000. So to cover that $10,000 in out-of-pocket expenses, we're going to have to gross up, whether it's a bonus, gross up salary, whatever it may be, up to $19,000. So when they pay taxes, they'll take home $10,000 to cover the out-of-pocket expenses. Or you could do it through Ultimate Health, where if you have that $10,000 in out-of-pocket, the premium for a family would be roughly around $13,500. And not only are you going to have that $10,000 covered, but you have up to $100,000 worth of coverage. So from a tax perspective, it makes more sense to do it through Ultimate Health. So we mentioned executive physicals. And what an executive physical is not your typical free coverage that you have under the medical plan today, which is just your blood, your urine, and how you feel, come back in another year. This is a full comprehensive examination, head to toe. You see several different physicians, and it's typically done at a center of excellence. I had mentioned a few like Mayo Clinic, Greenbrier, Cleveland Clinic. And we can provide guidance and access to the top clinics as well. Not only do you get your examination completed in one day, but you also typically get your results back the same day. So it's far more efficient to do it through an executive physical and get back to being productive for your organization. Through our Top.Connect program, you're able to find access and guidance to top specialists. So when you receive a diagnosis, the typical reaction would be to go wherever the primary care sends you, or to go on Google and try and figure out where to go yourself. And they're both not reliable solutions. So we've credentialed the top specialists in the country, and what we'll do is when you call us, we'll provide you back with a dossier of up to 3 physicians with a medical intelligence report. It's where they graduated, where they've been published, their boards, their bios, everything you would need to make a decision on who the top specialist is for you. And if it's someone that you want to see, we'll even set up that preferred access appointment. So the idea here is getting the top treatment the first time with the right physicians. And lastly, you have your Take Me Home Emergency Travel and Evacuation component. And this is a fully paid program through United Global that's built into our solution. So if you're 100 miles away from home, domestic or international, and it's business or pleasure, and your hospital confined, we will get you back home for top care. It also provides a portal with medical security information for 200 countries. So if you're traveling and you want to know where the best facilities are ahead of time, you can do so. We facilitate payments when you're receiving care abroad. There's translation services, and there's also replacement of lost and stolen passports. Okay, so there's a lot of other components built into the Take Me Home program. So from the claims perspective, again, we make it super convenient for the executive to get their claims reimbursed. So we also provide a prescription Visa card. This is pre-funded, and it's for prescription only at the pharmacy or for mail order. And you just swipe and go, and your claim is paid for at the point of sale. So there's no claim to submit with that prescription. For all other claims, you submit your claims online. You can do it on our mobile app, or you can do it on via regular mail, and we're going to reimburse that claim within 3 business days and direct deposit right into your account. So Ultimate Health is a tool that's designed for your key folks. It's going to attract and recruit top employees. And our customers are loyal. And they're loyal because we're providing a solution to get money back into their hands. So where all other types of insurance have limitations and cutbacks, Ultimate Health is designed to pick up those exposures and get money back to the executive team. So from an underwriting perspective, all we need to know to price a group is what the summary of benefits looks like. So what are the exposures for the medical plan? Is it a $500 deductible? Is it a $5,000 deductible? Because that's what we're gapping, and that's what we're going to pick up. Okay. We're also going to need to know whether or not there's dental or vision coverage. So you do not need to have any underlying dental or vision program. We can pick up those claims primary. However, you do need an underlying medical plan for us to sit on top of, with in and out of network coverage and prescription benefits. And lastly, it would be the census demographics of the folks that we're covering. So it would be a census of the executive population that you define as eligible for this benefit. Thank you. And that should conclude the presentation.
Thank you, Alex. And if anybody has any questions, please go ahead and email me. My contact information is there. And if you'd like a quote, please go ahead and contact us there as well. I just want to remind everybody that you will be receiving a follow-up email with the recording and PowerPoint slides. And thank you, Alex, for doing such a great job presenting.